Jesus, boys, girls, in betweens, how you doing? Again, back here with the much anticipated and delayed part 2 of how to rank up in Street Fighter V. This time going from bronze to silver, or more specifically going from ultra bronze to silver. So in the last video we covered a couple of very important topics, basically being spacing and knowing your pokes, and you're going to see those things utilized in these matches a lot. Now, this is obviously post-recording, I'm talking about this after the fact, so it gives me a little bit more of a luxury to be able to comment on things that I know are coming up, and just general stuff like that. So, what you're seeing here now is a lot of that stuff that we talked about before being utilized, but there's going to be a couple of other things that I really want to impress upon you guys when you're trying to go from bronze into silver, because I know you're a struggle. I know the pain that you feel, because there's a lot of trolls, there's a lot of smurfs, and you gotta fight your way through that, but fortunately these techniques will be able to help you. Now, on top of those things from the previous video, which will probably be linked in the description below, we've also got things like being able to use punishes and combos. So let's talk about those here. So, we're fighting Ken, we just brought down Ken, which is obviously good. Now, in these videos, I'm trying to limit myself. I'm not playing at my fullest level because I don't want to use things that you don't understand yet. So we're only using very basic combos here, we're only really using pokes, and we're not using V-Trigger in any of these matches bar one later. So we've got a bit of pressure here to start off with. We're trying to bait a DP out of Ken. Being able to bait a DP out of Ken is very important because Kens like to do DPs. Anyone who has an invincible reversal likes to do that, but right now we're trying to make him nervous. We're applying a lot of pressure, we're pressing a lot of buttons. We finally get a DP, but it's not when we're looking for it. Get out of the corner because you don't need Ken putting you in the corner. And now we're just back to trying to intimidate him, basically. Trying to bait the DP out, and we got the DP, and there's the punish. Now this is what I'm talking about. You've got to have your punishes on deck. You have to know what your punishes are for a crush counter, and you have to be able to execute. So if you don't know how to do a crush counter combo, you got to get in the lab and start looking up combos online and see if you're not playing jury like we are here. Alright, now we're into round 2 here. We're in with Blanca. This is a 2-set match, and I want to show this one off because this Blanca is very random. In the first game, he's very random. In the second game, that changes, and we'll talk about that, but right now we're using our meaties. We talked about that in the last video. We're going to use those knockdown meaties to be able to scare people. We bait the DP out of him. And once again, there's the punish. Punishes are so big. If you don't know what your punishes are, please go learn them. He's got us in the corner, but we managed to get back out. We keep him in the corner. We go for another punish, this time from a jump in. He makes the big risky wake up reversal, but it does not generate a lot of offense for him. And now he's coming to me. I bait him to run forward, and then we dash in and meet him in the middle. So this is a little bit of the mind games that we're going to talk about in game 2 here, but we don't get to see too many mind games just yet. Mind games mostly come down to being able to read your opponent, I find. Be able to see when someone is afraid is such a huge thing. You have to be able to recognize the signs. Were they being very aggressive and now they're hesitating? Are they backing off a lot? There's a big punish. I do use super combos, as you can see. Oh, there's we baited out the wake up again. So, when people are low on life, this is a big lesson here. When people are low on life and they're in the corner, they will do crazy things like this. And you gotta be able to punish them. And he's dead. So, recognize this is part of the psychology. When people are desperate, they will do desperate things, and you have to be ready for it to punish it, because you can't beat out an invincible move, obviously. Even if you use your own invincible move, they'll probably trade. Or one may beat out the other. It depends on the situation. But if you bait and punish, it's such a much more effective way of getting damage. So, look for those opportunities to really pressure someone, make them nervous after a knockdown. Now this is the game where things get a little bit more intense in terms of psychology, and I'm really looking forward to showing this off here. So we got Blanca. Also, kudos to this Blanca player as well for picking the best Blanca costume. It's definitely very impressive. Now look, what has happened here? What's the Blanca doing? What's the Blanca player doing? Alright, just watch him for a little while and try and see if you can tell how he's playing differently from the first game. Alright? Have you figured it out yet? The answer is that for the most part, in the first game, where he was being very aggressive, he's now starting to play a little bit more standoffish. He's starting to back off a lot more. Because he wants to start playing this game. Oh, that was a big punish there. We beat around the wake up. We did the wake up meaty. You remember, we talked about that in the last video. If you haven't checked out the last video, we talked about wake up meaties. But watch, he's playing very defensively now. He's shifted gears. He's backing off. Oh, okay. Trying to get a little bit. Gets his damage. He's going for blanket balls. And now he's backing off. Gets hit a couple times. Oh, we sweep him back. But now he's so much more defensive than he was before. And it's because he's afraid. He's afraid, so he wants to play it safe. He wants to get the life lead and sit on it. That's an effective strategy. Getting the life lead and sitting on it is an effective strategy. But watch what happens. What happens when you start doing it to them in return? Things get even more interesting because now we have the life lead, and now, if my memory serves me right, we're gonna back off pretty soon. And now we're making him come to us. Oh, all of a sudden your strategy isn't working anymore because now I'm the one with the life lead. We make him do desperate things, and he pays the price. So that's the psychology. Those are the two things I really want to talk about, is it punishes / combos, and being able to recognize the situations that you can take advantage of. Now, we got a Rashid, and this is where random really kicks in. Like, you think random players in bronze are bad, wait till you see a Rashid. So we got a silver Rashid as well, and that's what makes playing in bronze really tough, is because you can get people way the fuck above you in terms of points, like this guy. We're only ultra bronze, and this guy is well in the silver. So, but once again, he's doing a lot, but it's not getting a lot of damage. He's landing a lot of hits, but they're all lights, so he's not getting a lot of damage, so I've got nothing to really worry about, because his damage output isn't that good. And I'm just going to block this whole time, there's Typhoon's out. If I take a throw, that's fine. If taking a throw is the worst thing that happens when Rashid's Typhoon is out, then that's totally fine. Alright, we're going for throws. Get out of the corner. Using those normals, like we talked about in the last video, know the range of your normals and be prepared to use them at the right range for maximum efficacy. Very important. Alright, so how does Rashid change things up? He gets more, well, actually it's really the same level of random actually. He doesn't change anything, is the answer. He's a little bit confused as to how he lost, but he's convinced that he can continue to play his game and be able to win. So once again, our normals win out. We know the spacing for them, we know the priority. Playing a little bit for CC, we're playing a little bit of neutral, it's fine. Oh, we know the punish Freagle Spike, how about that? Now he knows what to do it. Okay, I do use a V reversal here to get out, just to escape the pressure. As I said, we don't use V triggers for any of these matches. The only one we do use V trigger for is actually for the next one. I want to include one match where I do actually use them, just for people who do actually know how to use Jury's V trigger. So we bait out the DP again. Look at this punish! Big damage! It's so important that when someone has an invincible reversal at their disposal that you try to bait it out of them. Because you will get so much more damage off a crush counter combo punish. A crush counter combo does 15% more damage than it would normally if it was not a crush counter. That's how good they are, and that's how much you gotta be able to get that damage. And we ranked him down, so he wasn't as far into silver as we thought, but regardless, he's a trooper, he wants to go again. And this time I open up the throttle a little bit more. So we're going to see a little bit more advanced techniques for people who are Jury players who might be a little bit better. That was a little glitched out, I don't know why that was. Might have been in the recording, doesn't matter. I'm going to play on. Alright, we're playing the spacing game. We're just seeing what he'll do. A little bit of pressure to return the favor. There's no good aggression going, but again, a lot of his damage was very low. It's all sound and fury signifying nothing, so we can afford not to get intimidated. That's a little bit more of an advanced combo using the juggle. And finally we go into V-trigger to get the real pressure. So once again, you notice how I'll dash up and just block. I'll get a knockdown, dash up, block. That's how you bait. You make people nervous that you're dashing in to attack them. And now he's got a hot dog for a head. Alright, he dashes in, gets nothing out of it. Go back to the neutral. Rashid players like to press a lot of buttons in neutral, so you really have to know what your best buttons are to be able to return the favor, because otherwise you're in for a world of hurt. So again, really learn your neutral, learn your buttons. It's going to serve you very well in trying to get out of bronze. But right now, he is taking much more damage than he is dishing out, and that was a mistake. I should not have done that fireball there. He finally is actually able to land an EXDP. Again, in situations like that with Rashid's V-Trigger, it's much better to just block. He wants you to panic, and we're not going to do it. There's an anti-air. Get a free store. And we boot him over his own little cyclone thingy. So that gets it, guys. So I hope this serves you well. I hope this is useful information. Please, if you have questions, comments, leave them below. Do you want more videos of how to get out of bronze? Or do you want more videos to start working on silver, maybe progressing through there? Let me know below, very important, so I know what you guys want and what I can give you. But in the meantime, kisses, hugs, and belly rubs. I will see all of you very soon.